Hello, welcome. We're gonna read a book today. It's called On's Anger. Let me see here. On's Anger. By Gail Silver and Christiane Comer. On was in the living room building a tower, the tallest tower he'd ever built. His grandfather was in the kitchen making dinner. On, grandfather called out. Dinner is ready. On added a yellow block and smiled. The tower was almost as tall as he was. Now the red one. On whispered, placing a red block on the very top. So he's going to put that one on. Grandfather came in from the kitchen. What a wonderful tower. It's not done yet, On told him. Come sit down, Grandfather said. You can play more after we eat. He set the plates on the table and returned to On, who was balancing the green block on top of the red one. Put your blocks down now, said Grandfather. Dinner is getting cold. Right? The grandfather said it one time. Come sit down. Right? First he says, come sit down. Come sit down. Come eat. And then finally he says, put your blocks down now. Dinner's getting cold. On wanted to keep playing. He opened his mouth to speak, but his bottom lip quivered and the words wouldn't come. On's eyes filled with tears and he started to cry. You ever felt that way? That someone's giving you an instruction and you don't want to do it because you're working on something else? But then Grandfather tried to put his arm around On, and On pushed him away, knocking over the tower and sending the blocks flying. Go away, I hate you, On shouted. You're upset, said Grandfather. Please go to your room and sit with your anger. I will come in when you're calm and able to talk. On ran to his room and leaped onto his bed. His cries grew so strong he could feel them all the way down in his belly. How do I sit with my anger? He wondered. I am so angry, angry, angry. Oh, he's kicking his legs, right? It's like he goes rushing in. Finally, said a voice. I was hoping you would notice me. It's a monster. On lifted his head and came face to face with a hairy red creature. This is pretend, right? A pretend creature. Who are you? Asked On. And how did you get in my room? I am your anger, said the creature. You brought me here. Ever feel like that? Like your anger's like a monster? My anger? The anger nodded. Did Grandfather see you come in? I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Don't worry, On, I'm not a stranger. I'm the part of you that comes out when things don't go your way. I'm right here every time you get angry. I know you feel scared when I'm around. I can make you cry and want to hit things. I can even make you say mean things to the people you love. On's anger started to turn the knob of the bedroom door. Come on, he said, I'll show you. On was tempted, but Grandfather had said to stay in his room. Wait, On said. Maybe we can do something in here. On's anger turned and extended his hairy hand. I know just the thing, he said. On took his anger's hand, and together they danced all around the room. They raised their arms over their head and spun in wide circles. They used their breath to make sounds like a howling wind. How could you do that? Like a, right? Big breath. Make sounds like a howling wind. They got down on their knees and pounded the ground with their hands. It sounded like they were playing drums on the earth, and On liked that. Finally, they were exhausted and ready to be still. On and his anger sat together silently. They sat, they breathed in, they breathed out, and they sat some more. Look, the anger is changing, right? I don't like to say mean things to people, said On, but sometimes I can't help it. I can help you, said his anger. How can you help? I thought you were the one who was making me do these things in the first place. That's true, but I'm also your friend. Whenever you feel angry, you should come sit with me. After we spend some time together, you might feel better. Spending time with you is kind of fun, On said. Do you want to stay for dinner? I think I'll be gone before dinner, said his anger. Are you sure? Asked On. We're having ice cream for dessert. On's anger smiled, and On smiled back. On was tired, and he took a deep breath and let out a little sigh. And then, when he did, his anger became even smaller. On and his anger continued to breathe together, and with each in-breath, On's anger got a little bit smaller, and with each out-breath, On felt a little bit better. Remember, when we breathe, right, we connect to what's really happening right now. So that's helping On feel better. On heard a gentle tapping on his bedroom door, and it was Grandfather. Grandfather and On sat together. "I'm sorry I didn't listen," said On. "I was really angry. I wanted to keep playing." Grandfather took On in his arms. "Thank you for your kind words," he said. "I sat with my anger like you asked," On said. "But we didn't just sit, we danced and played too. Did you want to meet him?" On looked up, but his anger was gone. "Grandfather," said On, do you know what happened?" "I think I do," said Grandfather. "You took good care of your anger and it went away." "That's right," said On. "How did you know?" "When I was a little boy, I met with my anger too." "Really? Was it because of blocks?" "No," laughed Grandfather. "There were no blocks, just frogs in a lily pond and a sun that wouldn't set. Come, let's eat dinner and I'll tell you my story." Look, they're eating dinner together. I love these pictures. Look at this. All the textures, right? The different cutouts, the different dye. Looks like it's tie-dye almost. And that's the end of the story. So for the art project, I want to quickly show you a way to, it's a process of making art that calms you down, but sometimes it also comes into a product that is kind of fun. We use watercolor and water and paper and a straw. And sometimes if we're at all worried about sucking the paint up the straw, a handy way to handle that is just pushing a push pin through one part of the straw so there's a hole there. It's, you don't usually suck the paint up, but if there's any issue, you can do that and it will not work then. So you'll take watercolor and a brush, and you can put choose a color that you want for your monster. I'm going to choose this bright color so you can see it really well. I'm going to put kind of a lot of paint, a lot of water, a big blob here. Let's see. Got a lot. And then you're gonna just have you're gonna put your mouth on the one end of the straw. Right, let me show you. Right? And you're gonna, instead of sucking in, you're gonna blow out. Right? Practice that. This is in your nose, out your mouth. Smell the flower, blow out the candle, right? Okay, so that's how you're gonna do it. You're gonna blow out. Okay, we're gonna go back to the other camera. Okay, so I'm gonna blow out. Okay, so I made my paint go that way. I kind of wanted my creature to look like a monster. So I'm gonna put some more paint and do it again. Do it one more time. And I can also turn my paper. I kind of like that. So then we could let this dry. I'm not gonna let it dry because I'm just gonna show you now. But then I might add some parts to my monster. In the book, the monster had like this red kind of head, and then it had a body. You could paint your body too if you wanted to. I have marker. Maybe I'll do paint. And maybe I'll make some crazy legs. My little anger monster. Maybe it has pink arms. And he's dancing, right? He's dancing around. And then later when this dries, I'll maybe put some eyes. Okay. I hope you enjoyed reading the book with me and making your drawing of your anger monster. And oh, and your anger monster, sometimes you want to draw a place for your anger monster to be so he stays safe. And I will show you that really quick before we stop. So you might want to think about like containing your monster. So maybe your monster has a room that he's in, or a big circle where he lives, so that he doesn't go everywhere, right? Because that's one of the things that An's grandfather said, you know, stay in your room and think about it, and be with it, be with the feeling, so that you can let it pass, let the feeling keep moving through you. So that's kind of a way to do it, right? We contain it. Okay, I hope you have a fun time making this artwork, and I'll see you next time.